Good afternoon. This is wildlife biologist Eric Orr from New Hampshire Fish and Wildlife, a long-term wildlife biologist right here in New Hampshire for closing in on 50 years. But I have 40 years of diaries at my disposal where I've kept daily records while I was a wildlife biologist or fisheries biologist for the New Hampshire Fish and Game Department. And took some time this morning to go through a couple of my diaries. And this one here is 1979, and I'm looking at May 4th, 1979. So what did I do that day? I participated in a deer census on Rattlesnake Island in Winnipesaukee. So it says here we arrived there around 10 in the morning, and we had drafted 15 students from the University of New Hampshire. And basically what you do is you form a line around the island, and this Rattlesnake Island has, seemed to me, quite a high hill in it, and we would line the students up and basically sweep the island almost like a broom and drive whatever animals are there, deer in this case mostly, across through a group of staff or students, and you would, for instance, count the deer on your right. And so that day we counted 10 deer, 1 fox, and found 2 dead deer. And I think that was the day that we actually found, way up on the top of the hill on Rattlesnake Island, was a black duck nesting on May 4th. So one of the things we did was to count deer on some of the islands in Winnipesaukee. And as I went further in my diary this morning, one of the things that, as I sweat out the day here, August 20th, 2019, and yesterday was 95 degrees, I see that on August 19th, 1979, I had bought the house here in Epsom that summer, and it says here I was home, it was a Sunday, I was home most of the day. The house was very cold. I hadn't hooked up the wood stove yet, but we sure need heat. So looking back several decades, 4 decades in fact, that the late August of 1979 was cold today. It would have been nice to have the wood fire going in a stove.